Good morning, students. I'm gonna start in about 5 minutes, okay? Join and get ready. صباح الخير.
Good morning.
من أنت؟
Lara Haifa.
مرحبا يا لارا. يلا,
أهلا.
we'll wait a few more minutes till more people join.
Yes.
صباحو.
I did the search you asked for, but I couldn't download it on the assignment.
Why not?
I don't know.
Good morning, students.
Good morning.
Good morning, doctor.
صباح
Good
النور.
morning,
طيب.
doctor.
Good morning.
Okay. I asked you to prepare something about Homo sapiens and the Neanderthal man. What did you do?
We searched for it.
Hmm?
Good morning.
Good morning. Before we start, let me just ask you something. Several students called me and complained that they are not able to download the recordings from Stream on their phones. صحيح الحكي؟
Yes,
True?
yes.
Yes. The
طيب.
problem is that the video do not appear on people who are using their cell phones. They cannot access the video.
Okay, what I learned is that this new Microsoft Teams program doesn't allow telephones to download. If you want to download the recordings, you have to do it through a laptop. And I know that maybe the majority of you don't have laptops. And I know that most of us don't have money to buy laptops nowadays. I think the university is working on something or trying to do something to solve this problem. But I don't know if they will be able to do so. If not, Anna, I have an idea. There must be one student who has a laptop. Does any one of you have a laptop? A good laptop?
Yes, doctor.
مين انت زهراء؟
لا Lara.
Lara Haifa. Okay. It's up to you. If you want, you could download the recordings and share them via WhatsApp.
I don't
I'm
have a
talking.
phone, but even on the laptop, it didn't appear to me yesterday.
I can do it. I have the recording.
Who's this?
Fatima Saleh.
Yeah, Fatima. Can you download them on a laptop?
Yesterday it worked, but I don't know today. Or if it always works.
Well, give it a try, Fatima. Download the videos and share them on WhatsApp. And you could do this regarding my course. Now, if you want, ask other instructors if they don't mind. If they don't mind sharing their recordings on WhatsApp. هي مش WhatsApp, هي WhatsApp. APP. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
And if you do download my recordings, just send me a sample. I want to see, or you will have to share it via the group, so I will be able to see it. Anyway, Zahra Ahmar, are you a Homo sapien? يا زهراء, are you a Homo sapien? Can you hear me?
Sorry, doctor, but I didn't prepare the homework.
مش شاطرة يا زهراء. زهراء مش شاطرة. Okay, let me pick another one. Let me see.
But I think it is a Latin word mean a wise man.
Yes. طيب في عنا فاطمة دبوس. وين فاطمة دبوس؟ Can you hear me? Hello? Anyone can answer.
Can you just repeat the question, please?
Are you, يا فاطمة, are you a Homo sapien?
Yes, we are.
We
Yes.
are Homo sapien. Okay. And the old ancient man, شو اسمه?
The Neanderthals?
The Neanderthal man. Okay. Now it is believed, guys, it is believed that the ancient man was called the Neanderthal man. Neanderthal is an area in Germany where they found the remains of an old man. We're talking hundreds of thousands of years old. and they found the same thing in Peking. You know what's Peking? Or Beijing. Or Beijing man. Or the Antilles man. Have you heard of this? The Antilles man? المشكلة وين بالتعليم اونلاين بحس حاله الواحد عم يحكي مع حاله. Anyway, so the عم تسمعوني لحتى بس كمل الله.
Yes, we are here.
Doctor,
نعم.
can you please repeat?
Okay, I will repeat. Okay, the ancient man was called, they found remains of the ancient man in several places in the world. One of them in Neanderthal in Germany, another one in Peking in China, and another place was Antilles in Beirut. They found the remains of an ancient old man, which was before the Homo sapiens. Now, about 200,000 years ago, we don't know what happened, and a new man appeared, the Homo sapien man, us. And the Neanderthal man became extinct. Now, although the Neanderthal man was smart or had some intelligence, it was not as smart as the Homo sapiens like us. It had a smaller brain, a bigger body, but with a smaller brain. Now, the Homo sapiens, we developed a larger brain, a brain which enabled us to really become more intelligent than all other forms of life on Earth, especially primates. Okay. Now, last week I asked you about the story of Adam and Eve. Was it that we started speaking language since the day when God sent Adam and Eve to Earth? Based on religion, yes, this is what happened. But based on Darwin's natural selection, or Darwin's theory of evolution, حطوا لها apostrophe بالكمبيوتر تبعي مش عم لاقي الapostrophe, okay? So Darwin's theory of natural selection, or his theory of evolution, humans which were originally in the form of the Neanderthal man, large body, smaller brain, then as time passed, we developed a larger brain and became smarter. Originally, we did not speak language, but later on, as we evolved, we became smarter and we became able to invent language and use language. Right. I don't know if you are taking notes, but now if you want to take notes, I'm going to start giving you some notes. Question: how did language originate? Where did language come from? Are you writing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Where did language come from? Note that much about its origin and evolution is unclear. Much about its origin and evolution is unclear. There are no fossil records for language. There are no fossil records for language. The capacity for language and simple manipulation the capacity for language and symbol manipulation must have arisen as the brain increased in size must have arisen as size and complexity when Homo sapiens became differentiated from other species between 2 million and 300,000 years ago. When Homo sapiens became differentiated from other species between 2 million and 300,000 years ago. There is evidence that Broca's area أنا حطيتها فاصلة. Let me say it again. عندي بالكمبيوتر مش بعرف وين الأبوستروفي. Okay, فهيدي apostrophe مش فاصلة. There is evidence that Broca's area, a region of the brain, منطقة بالدماغ, a region of the brain associated with language, was present in the brains of early hominids a region of the brain associated with language was present in the brains of early hominids as long as 2 million years ago. يعني, in other words, the ability for humans to learn language, speak language, is perhaps about 2 million years old. يعني حضرتكم هلا انتو عندكم أجداد الله أعلم من كم مليون سنة who have invented language, used language, refined language until it became so sophisticated now. So I guess it is a process of evolution. Evolution. النشوء، التطور. Note that. Note, I have several points تكتب لي اياهم ورا بعضهم. Note that. واحد. The human vocal apparatus. The human vocal apparatus. The human vocal apparatus has become well adapted. The human vocal apparatus has become well adapted for making speech sounds. The human vocal apparatus has become well adapted for making speech sounds in a way that is not true of animals. In a way that is not true of animals. هيدي واحد. اثنين.
Doctor, may you repeat number one?
The human vocal apparatus I wrote it wrong, hold on. The human vocal apparatus has become well adapted for making speech sounds in a way that is not true of animals. Two, our teeth are right. One word. Our teeth are upright. Our tongues are relatively small. Our tongues are relatively small and flexible. هيتلاثي. This is point 3. Our teeth are upright. 3. Our tongues are relatively small and flexible. فإذا قلنا 3 our tongues are relatively small and flexible. 4 the larynx or voice box is lower in the throat. The larynx or voice box is lower in the throat. 5 the musculature I'm going to write it. The musculature musculature of our lips is more finely developed . The musculature of our lips is more finely developed than that of حطوا لي comma, say, comma, apes, full stop. I'm going to repeat this point. The musculature of our lips is more finely developed than that of, comma, say, comma, apes, full stop. Say, how شو يعني معنات say?
For example.
Thank you, يا عقبة.
Hello, doctor.
Okay. 6. The fundamental structure of the articulatory apparatus. The fundamental structures of the articulatory articulatory apparatus. The fundamental structures of the articulatory apparatus appear unchanged over the last 60,000 years. The fundamental structures of the articulatory apparatus appear unchanged over the last 60,000 years. Okay. Although primates have a rich repertoire of alarm calls, and gestures, they did not develop language. Although primates have a rich repertoire of alarm calls and gestures, they did not develop language. Note, some words might have been onomatopoeic. I'll write it down. Some words might have been onomatopoeic. Do you have any idea what this means? Any idea? Anyone? Anyone? جنان محي الدين عم تسمعيني؟
How animals produce sounds?
Animals that produce sounds. مين عم يحكي؟ سيدرا؟
No.
Okay. يعني anyway, let's define the word. Onomatopoeic means words that sound like the things to which they refer. words that sound like the things to which they refer to. مثلا meow meow meow, it refers to the sound of the cat. Same thing, the sound of the dog. هاو الكلمات بيشبهوا الصوت. Okay, but the question is, are all words of the same nature? The answer is no. Yes. Let me give you some examples of onomatopoeic words. كاكو كاكو شو هالصوت هي؟
It's sound of cock.
Call of some birds. Call of some birds. Hiss.
Hissing for a snake.
All right. Ouch. Ouch. شو يعني ouch?
A call for pain.
Okay, a response of pain. هذه بالانجليزي هيك same thing بالعربي اخ. Okay. So the idea, and honey, I'm preparing to say something. The idea that language evolved from mimicry or imitation. So the idea that language evolved from mimicry or imitation So the idea that language evolved from mimicry or imitation has been called the ding dong heave ho or bow wow theory. Ding dong heave ho bow wow theory. However, such similarities can only be attributed. However, such similarities can only be attributed to a very few words. However, such similarities can only be attributed to a very few words, and many words take very different forms in different languages. However, such similarities can only be attributed to a very few words, and many words take very different forms in different languages. Plus, there is much more to language than using words in isolation. Plus, there is much more to language than using words in isolation. Why? ليش? Because what gives human languages its power. Why? Because what gives a human language its power Why? Because what gives a human language its power is its ability to combine words by use of grammar. What gives a human language its power is its ability to combine words by use of grammar. A 5 minutes break, guys, okay? حدا يرد علي.
Yes, yes.
Okay, doctor.
Okay. Hello guys, I'm back. حد يرد علي؟
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Right. Question. Was the origin of a human language the result of Darwinian natural selection? Was the origin of a human language the result of Darwinian natural selection? So was it of Darwinian natural selection? Was it? I'm not asking you, I'm asking you to answer, okay? Counter arguments. Counter argument against Darwin's natural selection theory. One, there was not enough time for something so complex. There was not enough time for something so complex to evolve. There was not enough time for something so complex to evolve since the evolution of humans and their diversion from other primates. Since the evolution of humans and their diversion from other primates. يعني بالعربي انه هذا اللي عم بيقولوا انه نظرية داروين مش ضروري تكون صحيحة لانه ما كانش في وقت كافي انه اللغة بهذا التعقيد والسوفيستيكيشن تتشكل بهالوقت القصير. This is an opinion. Okay, this is one. كتبتوهم ولا should I repeat?
لا مش الحال.
طيب. Two. Another argument عم نحكي that grammar cannot exist in any intermediate form. That grammar cannot exist in any intermediate form. بين هلالين, between parentheses. Either we have grammar or we don't. That grammar cannot exist in any intermediate form. Between parentheses. Either we have it or we do not have it. Close parentheses. 3. Possessing grammar confers no obvious natural selection advantage. Confers مقصود هون gives. Possessing grammar confers or gives no obvious natural selection advantage. We have other alternative explanations for how language appeared or evolved. We have other alternative explanation for how language appeared or evolved. 1. Language arose as a side effect. Language arose as a side effect of the evolution. Language arose as a side effect of the evolution of something else. Language arose as a side effect of the evolution of something else, such as the ability to use more complex manual gestures. Language arose as a side effect of the evolution of something else, such as the ability to use more complex manual gestures or to use tools. Let me repeat it fast. Language arose as a side effect of the evolution of something else, such as the ability to use more complex manual gestures or to use tools. Second alternative. Language arose as a byproduct. Language arose as a byproduct of the increase in overall brain size. Language arose as a side effect. Sorry. Language arose as a byproduct of the increase in overall brain size. Three, that language and the brain co-evolved. That language and the brain co-evolved, evolved together in an interactive way. Co-evolved in an interactive way. As the frontal cortex as the frontal cortex of a human grew larger, as the frontal cortex of a human grew larger, symbolic processing became more important. As the frontal cortex of a humans grew larger, comma, symbolic processing became more important. Alternative 4. As can be seen, this is rather a speculative topic. This is a rather speculative topic. This is a rather speculative topic. يعني هون واحد منه انه just guessing how language evolved. And the Linguistic Society of Paris in 1866 banned all debate on the origins of language. The Linguistic Society of Paris in 1866 banned all debate on the origins of language.
Doctor,
Yes.
these information are found in the book or not?
Some of it are found there, some of it are not. The thing is, I have been teaching for this course for over 20 years now. I literally have information يمكن من شي 100 مصدر. Things which cannot be provided. Okay? You could, for example, go and read on these topics from any source. But the books I gave you, I think, have some of it. Okay. Piaget in 1930, Jean Piaget in 1930 proposed that, انتبهوا, proposed, لم يؤكد, اقترح. He proposed that the language evolved in intimate connection. Language evolved in intimate connection with the use of hand gestures. Do you see the gestures I'm making?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So Piaget proposed that language evolved in intimate connection with the use of hand gestures. And as the physical form of the brain changed, language also developed. And as the physical form of the brain changed, language also developed. هلا. It looks like that before language evolved and developed, I think we humans depended on hand gestures and some sounds to communicate. When you do this, telling somebody to come, asking somebody to go, when you move your head down, you're saying yes. Up, you're saying no. But طبعا this depends on the culture you are in. Like this in English is no. بالعربي يمكن when you do this, saying I don't know. So I think we depended originally on gestures, be it hand gestures, facial gestures, or sounds to communicate. Now, one of the linguists argued that we started to develop language in order to free our hands. Yani, when you are in a forest and trying to climb a tree, you cannot use your hands to communicate while climbing because you're using your hands for climbing. So, over the years, in order to free your hands while you were working, the need to create some other ways of communication was so important that people created language. This is also an opinion. So,
Doctor,
yes.
someone is speaking.
No, I did not hear you. Sound قطش الساوند. ما سمعتش.
We are hear sound than you.
No, why don't you
In the
send
meeting.
your comment? Why don't you send your comment? Why don't you type it? I cannot hear you at all.
Noor is asking if there's someone unmuted لما عم تسمع sound.
Okay. Anyway, Corbelis, Corballis, 1992. عم تسمعوا صوت غير صوتي حمزة؟ تسمعوا صوت؟ اوكي. عم تسمعوا صوت اخر هلا شيء؟
No.
اوكي. اوكي. طيب. Corbelis in 1992 argued that the evolution of language freed the hands Corbelis argued that the evolution of language freed the hands from having to make gestures to communicate. Maybe so. However, this is a final note on this. However, the way in which language evolved may be unclear. However, the way in which language evolved may be unclear. Okay. You have any questions regarding this?
No, it's clear.
Okay. طيب. Homework. Okay. حطوا لي write this question down. Is language a biological phenomena or a socio-cultural reality? Is language a biological phenomenon? Is language a biological phenomenon or a socio-cultural reality? I want you to go and do some research on the nature-nurture debate. I want you to do research on this topic, nature versus nurture debate when it comes to language learning. And the question as I posted, is language a biological phenomenon or a socio-cultural reality or the result of both? ليكو موضوع مهم جدا جدا. If you do research on this on your own, you really become smarter and your brain increases in size. Okay? Do you have any questions?
No.
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 I'll see you next week.
Doctor,
Yes.
doctor, and only on our notes.
To a large degree, yes. بس هذا الموضوع واسع جدا جدا. If you go to the internet, you could literally find مش thousands, you could find hundreds of thousands of books and articles on this topic. Don't ever depend on notes. Depend on your own notes.
I mean, we can search on Google and we can take notes. So it's not necessary to get the book.
Well, I sent you the book. You could download it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Listen.
Thank you.
I uploaded, I guess, 3 books. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week. Salam.
I